So you know who this movie's not searching for? Slender Man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Searching, the newest film starring John Cho and Debra. If you've never heard this movie before, it's a movie about a father who is searching for his missing daughter. Pretty basic story, but you've never seen it done like this before. So if you've ever seen Unfriended, it's the idea of how can we tell a movie just in a computer. So they're talking through Skype, they're friends, and then stuff happens, one of the main characters dies, and then it infects the computer. But this is a completely different story using that same format where John Cho, after missing some calls from his daughter, has to go in search of finding out what happened to her. And it leads him to discoveries through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, this thing called UCast, I believe it was called. And he starts to unravel about how maybe he doesn't know who his daughter is or who she really is. And he starts to learn things about her that basically, we are all the same like that. We don't really know people until we know people, until we've learned about them. And it's heartbreaking to see because he really cares about his daughter. But, kind of spoiler alert a little bit, but it's in the trailer. They've lost their mother, and she's kind of a wreck because of it, but she doesn't know how to express to her dad, and her dad's not really expressive to her because he believes that it'll eventually roll itself over. And one day she disappears, and he's frantic, and he goes on a search for her. And I think this is one of the best movies of the year in the fact that it's inventive storytelling. You only see a computer screen, you only see the video cameras on the computer, or if he plants cameras around the house. It's told you see a typical screen of a computer with Facebook icons and Twitter icons. You see an Apple computer, so you're very familiar with the setting. And it doesn't matter how a movie is shot or how it's filmed, as long as it's intriguing, engaging, and fantastic to watch. And this is exactly what this movie is. John Cho is incredible in this movie. He's fantastic. He's always been fantastic, even back in his small parts of American Pie. But he takes it to another level where he conveys his worrisome, his angst. He's just scared for his daughter. He's willing to go to whatever lengths to get his daughter back. To get his daughter back, and that's when Debra, who plays the detective that's assigned to the case, she comes in, and then they start unraveling what exactly happened. And it's very similar to kind of what would happen in a case, but maybe a little more fantastical because she's telling him to get all the information he can, which maybe happens. I don't know. I don't really know much about the legal system, but I guess the only kind of shortcomings with this movie are some of the fantastical elements with the news reporting, and sometimes John Cho's in the place where he's kind of stuck because he has to be at a computer because that's the way the movie's shot out. But besides that, the movie it takes a gripping nature, a very suspenseful nature to basically what happened. Why does she have no friends? Why is she taking out $2,500? Why is she doing this and that? And it's just, when you start unraveling the pieces, and it takes twists and turns, but when you start unraveling it, it's a fascinating story. It's a fascinating story of life on the computer, or life and technology in general. I mean, your life is basically all on the computer, so if somebody wanted to, they could find anything they wanted. And that's why people are so closely guarded when it comes to their own materials and so on and so forth. But like I said, as John Cho and Debra start to uncover the whole thing, they start learning that his daughter is just not who she says, who he thought she was. She was supposed to be taking piano lessons, and she stopped doing that. And you start seeing videos of when she was a kid, and you start seeing just different ways how his family went through life, and you see back history of how their mother became sick, and you see the different icons for the different places when they go into their own little area of the computer. And it's just a fascinating way to use the technology to make a movie. Like I said, this is probably a really low budget movie. I mean, all they needed was a Mac and some hardware and a couple of computers and maybe some small cameras, but you're selling the idea of a father who's trying to find the daughter, and John Cho has to play the character as he was playing if he were in front of an actual camera. And he does a great job with it. I mean, there's nothing more you can be said. I mean, John Cho just he finds a way to make it convincing, make it heartbreaking, and make it fun. And it's not a fun movie, but it's just what he's doing with the character and what he's doing with the technology, how he's learning about his daughter, and then the twist at the end, which is a little how heavy-handed and so on and so forth. But I just think it's a fantastic movie. I think what they were able to do with it, I think the use of the technology is used better than anything I've ever seen. If you can do something like that, just think about, for instance, Tangerine was all shot on iPhone. I think Steven Soderbergh shot everything on an iPhone. It just shows you don't need a lot to produce something awesome, and that's what this movie is. Awesome. So it's an amazing movie. It's definitely a recommend. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the year, so definitely check it out. There's not much more I can say on it without spoiling it. So, but with that, thank you so much for checking out our review of Searching. If you guys like what you see, always remember to rate, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Audioboom, and Twitter. We definitely want to see what you guys thought of the movie if you have seen it, so comment below. But with that, we'll go ahead and head out, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.